What's good, man? It was good.
Chilling. Sitting there, I was trying to find some movie to watch. I found Clockers was on, so I started watching that.
Oh yeah, yo, I found a list. We're live, by the way.
Yeah,
I found a list of a bunch of hood movies from the '90s. I hate calling them hood movies. I feel like they need a better name, but Clockers was on there. I was gonna watch Menace and
mm.
Belly 2 next because uh,
Man, don't watch Belly too, bro.
I'm just curious. But you know what? I put a couple of minutes of it on today, and it doesn't even look the same. Somehow it looks cheaper and older than the first Belly. Like,
It's not Hype Williams doing it. It's somebody else.
but okay, this is what I don't understand. Why even call it Belly? Like, it doesn't even have the same sensibility. It looks like it's shot with a camcorder. Like, how do you go backwards in technology? Like the first couple minutes I saw.
It's bad.
Oh man, but I'm just out of curious. Yeah, Sly said no watch Belly too. I got a feeling they had a script around, and it was kind of like a bum script. But they're like, hey, you
Just
have the
call it
rights
Belly
to.
too. And they bought
Yeah,
the rights
exactly.
to the name. And there's a lot of people do that. Like
Take scripts that are lying around and then
yeah.
just
Or just or
repackage
just
them.
buy the naming rights to something, call it that, and then when you go watch the second one, you're like, wait a minute, is this even the same director? This is the same. They did that with those Born Identity movies.
Yeah,
It's still the same name. It's still some of the same actors. Well, I think Matt Damon wasn't in one of them, and
yeah. He he
it was a
eventually
horrible
left
movie.
left the franchise and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I also want to try that Carlito's Way prequel. That looks
yeah.
crazy.
I've seen that before. Yeah, I've seen it before.
Because they got a new younger guy playing young Carlito, but they got
Yeah.
the same sidekick actor playing the sidekick. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
I
Yep.
saw a clip of it, and you have the younger Carlito, but his homeboy, I forgot his homeboy's name, looks exactly the same age.
Yeah, I think it was Pachico or something like that. But in real
The-
life, his name is what's his name in real life?
Louis something.
Luis
Louis.
Gonzalez or
Yeah,
Rodriguez or something like that.
it's a very generic Hispanic.
Yeah,
Luis Guzman.
Guzman. There you go.
Yo, I have to ask something, and this is no shade to Hispanic people. Is there any group on Earth, even Americans, I don't know, that have like the least variety of first name and last names? Like, I
Man,
feel like Hispanic people have like 15 last names and 10 first names.
that
Like,
means they got dominated historically by all the same motherfuckers.
yeah, something's going on, man. I'm trying to think. Even Italians aren't up there because I hear a lot of out there Italian names I've never heard before. Like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I feel like by age 6, you've heard 90% of Hispanic last names. Like it's a very they
Yep.
gotta have the least variety. If anybody, yeah,
Ruiz, Gonzalez, Rodriguez, Martinez. I mean, you gotta go deep into like South America to get some names that like those baseball players like Luis
oh, oh,
Pujols and guys like that. You
some of
gotta
these
go
people are
deep into
giving
those
some good.
names.
Some of these people are giving some good some good alternatives. Like they're saying Arab names, but even Arab names, like okay, there's a lot of people named Muhammad, and
Fuck
Ali
man,
and,
they're
and
all named
Khan.
Muhammad.
Yeah, Ali and Khan, but you still get a lot of surprises. You still get a lot of names that you've never. So I'm not sure, but that could be up there though. Sly said
hmm
Koreans when you have like 9 last names.
Yep.
This is gonna become a very racist
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
We stay on the
Bigoted. It's
topic.
gonna be very bigoted. It's gonna be an Asian come here. Well, why is your name Tyrone? You're all named Tyrone and DeAndre. Like what?
Oh,
My
you
name
know
is
what?
Kenny. What are you talking about?
Dude, that could be another one though. ADO West might have not a lot because a lot of them are allowed to choose. First names ADO West have a lot though. First names you get a lot, but last names I didn't know this, but a recent guest told me this that Washington is like the most popular ADO African American last name because a lot of people chose it after slavery.
Yes, a lot of people out of slavery chose names like Washington, Brown,
Lincoln,
Green,
yeah.
White, Lincoln, and they chose those names because they want to change their name. So you hear some black person with the last name Green or White or Brown, that's just something they chose. You know what I mean? That wasn't the name on the plantation. More than likely, that
Yeah,
wasn't the name on the plantation, but they chose that or Washington or Lincoln or something, or Douglas. You know what I mean? A lot of them chose the
Yeah.
last name Douglas. So yeah, that's definitely true. Leaving the plantation. So when some people say, "Man, you ain't even got your real name," yes, I do. I chose Green when I left the plantation, motherfucker. That's my name now. You know what I mean?
Actually,
So yeah.
actually, but even then, I still think African Americans have more last names than Hispanic people.
Mhm.
Yet, Slice said Brazilians got 5 names, and one of them is Silva.
Basically.
Yeah, that's a good project. Which culture has the least variety of last names?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I never saw the Carlito's Way with Diddy, so I was gonna watch that one. I was gonna rewatch the original Carlito's Way, and I was gonna watch Menace, and I know everyone says not to do it, but I gotta see Belly too. I'm curious.
Man, you ain't gonna make it through that whole movie, bro. I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna make it. I'm telling you, you're not. There's no way you can make it through that whole movie. Another good one, another good movie, if you want to call it a quote unquote hood movie, In Too Deep with LL.
I've seen that one, and
Yeah,
I remember that one being good, but like comical. I remember what was his name? God. His
yeah.
name, yeah. Both of them are overacting their asses off, but it's
Oh,
still a good
fuck it,
movie.
yeah. It's a
It's still
good
a good
movie
movie.
though. It was surprisingly good.
Yeah, it
Surprisingly
was a good
good.
movie.
Yeah,
It was a good movie, but yeah, they were both. I'm God.
yeah.
LL was really
No,
leaning
no,
into it.
like you could tell LL was that was his one, because you know LL has a long history of hanging around street dudes, like official street dudes. So that was his one opportunity to really reach into that character of, you know, they used to say he used to run around with Alpo and Rich Porter and all those dudes. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
that I
So
didn't know.
yeah. They say he was running around with those guys, and this is I'm bad LL. This is
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know, and he was, because the street dudes had more clout than LL. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But
Back then, street dudes were like bigger celebrities than. One thing people don't realize, right? And I'm old enough to remember this. You used to see your favorite rappers at the mall, at the bodega. It was a very different type of celebrity. Like now, being a rap star, you're a legitimate star, but it was really like a lesser star. Like even boxers like Mike Tyson, kind of in the beginning, were
you see him
less.
hanging around.
Yeah, you see him hanging around and stuff. Like I remember, I saw LL Cool J in the mall. I would see Calling Me Bad. I saw Calling Me Bad in the mall. I was in Green Acres Mall. Calling Me Bad was walking around. The black guy looked crazy. His
You're
face,
right.
his jaw, he looked like a giant lion. He looked crazy. The black guy Calling Me Bad.
He must have been
Like,
Jamaican.
yeah, stop being so racist. We're gonna wait. What does a Jamaican have to do with it?
I don't know.
The lion. We got Jamaicans in the chat, man. Are you thinking of Mad Lion? Like,
No, you know, every time they show, remember Screwface? Remember Screwface?
Yeah.
In the John Steven Seagal movie?
Years ago? Yeah.
He had that weird looking face. You know what I mean? Like that was just really weird. That weird looking Jamaican face, man. Shatas is another good movie.
What's that?
Shatas, yeah, with Bob Marley's sons.
I know about Shadows, but I never seen it.
It's good.
I knew Edel hung out with street dudes, but
yeah.
I didn't know that he was hanging. I thought he hung out with Queen Street dudes. I didn't know he was hanging out with Alpo and them.
No, he was with Alpo, Rich Porter, and those dudes, because he talked about it, how like when he was younger, he was talking about that dude Supreme Magnetic, and he was talking about like how it was back in them days. And he said he went inside one of those nightclubs in New York back in the day in downtown, and I guess, you know, when certain songs come on, dudes start robbing people and shit. And he was with those dudes, so nothing ever really happened to him. But in that movie, you could tell that LL has been waiting to play that kind of role. Like,
yeah. He ate it up. He chewed up the scenery. I'm definitely gonna rewatch.
They had your boy in that movie. I can't stand him, man. What the fuck is his name, man? He's an alpha. He's one of those Greek dudes, man. He went to Harvard.
Oh, I really don't like him. I don't remember who you're talking about, but
we were just talking about him the other day.
Were we?
He was in He Got Game too.
I never saw He Got Game.
Oh, you never seen He Got Game? Goddamn, T, what the hell you been watching?
I know, man. Look.
Hill Harper, yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
Hill Harper, yeah. Hill Harper.
Yeah.
He's in Too Deep.
Hill Harper. Every generation has a Hill Harper. Where that dude who, you know, is always trying to I know what the term for Hill Harper is. And I don't know if he's really like this, but his persona publicly is power simps, like dudes who. For people don't know what a power simp is, right? Like Drake is a power simp. Power simps are people who use the trappings of simpness, but they get ass, and they're actually almost players. But a lot of times, like they be dirty macking, they be using the sensitivity game, but in a way that they don't get friend zone. They actually make it work. Like a Common kind of has a power simp vibe, you know. Like the power simps are the dudes. Power simps are the dudes who will go to poetry readings and master the whole, you know, fake deep vibe. You know what I'm saying? And then clean up with all the girls in the poetry scene. And then one day they all compare notes and they realize, oh, wait a minute, Shaka was with you too?
Right,
you know, and then,
right.
Yeah, they find out belatedly he was a dog, but
they find out his real name was Bill Williams too.
Yeah, exactly. And like 15 of his poems were all about respecting our black queens. And you find out he was like dogging them all out. And then he got like all types of stuff. Yeah, but Hill Harper he has a type of polish to him that reminds
he's like what you would think Russell Wilson is like.
Yeah.
You would think that Russell Wilson is like him. They have that vibe, but we couldn't find out Russell Wilson's not like that. But there was somebody that just said something. He said John Legend. Yeah, John Legend, same dude. Yeah,
John Legend
same vibe.
Has a power simp vibe where, you know, they wear all the trappings of a simp, but they learn to weaponize like
Michael Ealy. Michael Ealy. What was the name of that movie where he's hiding under the bed? He was like beating his girlfriend up and shit.
Oh, I didn't see that. My wife did.
I can't remember what it's called. It's pretty good though. That motherfucker was crazy.
I feel like Michael Ealy, he's bordering on power simp, but he also seems like he could just be one of those cool pretty boys, right? He's like a pretty boy, but he's like a dirty dog. Like I had a friend like that. He looked pretty, but he could ball, and he was just a real dude. He just couldn't help looking pretty, like, you know.
Right. That's what Michael Ealy looks like. Yeah,
that's what Michael Ealy looks like. Because I never seen Michael Ealy like try too hard to be conscious. Like Hill Harper has like Hill Harper's like Jesse Williams. Not Jesse Williams is always trying to sound woke as hell and talk about stuff. Yeah. Hold on a second. Let's see. So I'm gonna watch Belly 2. I guess just out of curiosity. I probably won't make it all the way through. I'm gonna watch add a list of stuff. But Menace I want to rewatch. Menace. I wanna but yeah, I have a whole list. Let me put up the list because I had it up on my computer. Oh, I want to rewatch Friday.
Who said City of God? Yeah, City of God is good too.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, City of God is good. Shotas is good because it's one of those movies where it's just fucking ironic as fuck. Like you got little parts in there with Wyclef, and he's trying to be a fake Caribbean dude. I think Wyclef is Haitian, right?
Yeah, I mean, Haitian is Caribbean, but he's not Jamaican.
Yeah, but he comes off like he's Jamaican. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yo, that used to be a big thing. You know why? Wyclef is Haitian, and I'm Haitian, but Wyclef's from the generation where it was really not cool to be Haitian. There were waves, right? It used to not be cool to be any type of Caribbean. And when I was really young, they should do shit like they would go through people's lunchboxes and see if you had a beef patty. If you had a beef patty, they would beat your ass. No. This
is a real. Fuck? Are you serious?
Yep. They would do that. Yeah. It was crazy. Like so that's one of the reasons why, to a degree, I know a lot of these flag people, a lot of these Caribbean people, they got a little bit of residual bitterness, right? Especially they're like older and stuff. But that ended quick because you know what happened? Two things happened. First, Bob Marley. Yeah. Bob Marley did a lot, but black people still weren't that into Bob Marley. A lot of black people still thought Bob Marley was white people music. Yeah, the white people got into Bob Marley first, but when dancehall hit in the like mid '80s, it's hard to think of now, but you couldn't have an American hip hop party without a dancehall segment. Like remember dancehall?
Yeah, the Super Cat.
Yeah, Super Cat, Shabba, Cuddy Ranks.
Super Cat and a Yellow Man. Yellow Man was that.
Yeah.
Yellow Man, Super Cat was that shit back in the day.
Oh man,
That was all for all the rude boys out there.
Bounty Killer,
Yeah,
Beanie Man.
yeah. What's the one brother man that went to prison? He just got out. He did the boom bye bye on the Bati boy head. Bougie Bantan.
Bougie Bantan. Yeah. So it's like black people caught up with Bob Marley because after dancehall came out, then it's like soaking up all reggae and they got into like Bob Marley. But when it was just Bob Marley before dancehall, a lot of black people in America still thought of reggae as like weird music or white people music.
Yeah.
Dancehall put it over. And then I remember all those medallions came out and everyone's wearing. So what Haitian people were doing was like Jamaican was like a buffer zone. Like you still couldn't pull off being Haitian, right? And you couldn't pretend you were American. So what a lot of Haitian people started doing was becoming fake Jamaicans. Because it was like, oh, it's a couple of islands over. And that's the era that Wyclef comes from. Like, because it's still Caribbean, it still has rice and peas and all that stuff. Yeah, so Maintaining K said Jamaicans started putting it down in the streets. That helped too. That is true. Like Shower Posse and all those Jamaican gangs, like people had to give them a lot of respect because people were scared. People became straight up scared of Jamaicans and stuff, you know. And this is true too. Someone said Zopound, which is a Haitian gang, blew up because of Black American animosity toward Haitians. Zopound and that stuff was like later on in the game, but Wyclef did a lot to legitimize Haitians, but he was still of that era when Haitian people would try to pretend to be Jamaican, you know, because they would try to think, oh, maybe people can't tell one Caribbean from another, you know, they would like try to fake it like that. And so we used to call them different names. We called them Rasta imposters. They called them Jamaicans. Yeah, they called them Jamaicans. Yeah. You know, Jamaicans not only came out of the bottom rank, they shot over even like Black Americans. Even a lot of Black Americans would pretend to be Jamaican in New York, like because they just like seemed really cool. They had like the hats to the side. They had like the whole Slick Rick kind of vibe.
Yeah, the Jamaican Kango. Yeah,
the Jamaican Kango, the Clarks. So even a lot of American people started trying to like. I don't think Jamaicans would ever peak like that again. Like that was like it was a time where being Jamaican in New York was like the top thing you could be if you're Black. You know.
Out here you'd be lucky if you see two Haitians and two Jamaicans standing next to each other. There wasn't no Jamaicans out here at all, especially on the West Coast. Like there was they had a lot of Trinidadians, and there was like because I know down in LA is a lot of God damn it, what is it? Some Haitians down there. There's a bunch of Bloods down there. There's Haitians, but you're not gonna see like no Jamaicans and nothing like that, man. That's hella rare. That means your family moved out here. You know what I'm saying? And if you was I knew a kid named Jelani. He was actually from St. Croix, but the way he talked, everybody kept saying, "Hey, you know the Jamaican kid." I'm like, "What Jamaican kid?" And then when I met him, I was like, "You from Jamaica?" He was like, "No, I'm from St. Croix." I'm like, "Why everybody keep saying you Jamaican?"
No,
he was like, "I don't know."
No, but you know why? You know why? In a lot of American
Thomas, he was from St. Thomas.
In a lot of really Americanized Black neighborhoods, they don't really know all those nuances. So, because I used to live in Buffalo, and Buffalo is like country. Buffalo is weird because it's in New York, but it might as well be the South. Like, at least when I was there. So, anything that was Indian, they just call it Jamaican. If you were Hispanic,
Belizeans, there you go. Maintaining K, Belizeans, not Trinidadians or Haitians. They're Belizeans down in LA, definitely.
Yeah, when I lived in Buffalo, they didn't even know what a Haitian person was. Like, I told this girl, I met this girl, right? And I was talking to her, and I was like, just like, where are you from? I'm like, well, I'm from New York, but my family's Haitian. She goes, I thought you were Black. I'm like, I am Black. She goes, you say you're from Asia. I'm like, no, I'm not. It's not Asia.
What the fuck?
No, but that's how much. This is pre-Wyclef. This is pre-Fuji.
Oh, okay.
She literally didn't know what.
She didn't know Haiti was his own island.
Yeah, she didn't know that. Like, it sounds crazy to say now, but people should be that. This is before Bad Boy. Remember Bad Boys 2, the Haitian gang?
Yeah.
All this stuff. So I was literally the first Haitian person she ever met. You know.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
Hollywood jumped on the Jamaican shower posse thing with the whole thing with
Steven
the
Seagal.
Steven Seagal movie with Screwface
Yeah,
and all that. What wasn't it? Was it Hard to Kill? I
yeah,
think it
but
was
that
Hard to
one,
Kill.
it was hard to kill or wanted. Was it hard?
It was like,
Dude,
they all sound the same. One Hard to Kill, Should Have Been Dead, whatever the fuck that movie was called.
it's either
But
hard to kill or has wanted in the title. One or the other. I'm gonna look it up right now. I remember my Jamaican friends hated that movie because that
oh
movie stereotypes Jamaicans so hard.
hell yeah, stereotype the fuck out of Jamaicans, man. They doing voodoo and Mark for Death.
Mark for
Mark
that.
for
Mark for
Death.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I
That's
remember
what it was.
that. They was
With
driving around in
Screwface.
those little 725i fucking BMWs and shit.
And so many Jamaicans did not died in that movie. I never seen the other movie a lot of Jamaicans I remember hated was Mighty Quinn because Robert
Yeah.
Townsend and Denzel Washington have the worst Jamaican accents
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, Predator 2 had the Jamaican voodoo in there. Yep.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, I was like, is it Jamaican voodoo or Haitian voodoo? Like, which one is it? Like, they just throw it all in the same bag. Fuck it. You know what I mean? They sound the same magic.
Yeah, Jamaicans have a voodoo, but it's very different than the Haitian one. I don't want to get into it, but that's a whole different topic. But well, what I'll say is this: Jamaican voodoo had to come up a lot under like the oversight of white people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more like doing tarot cards in America, where it's like, some people are into things like tarot cards and different things, but it's kind of more like a hobby or something. Yeah. It's not as like, you don't find as many like super serious, like, you have a problem with somebody and you might go to somebody. It's like going to a fortune teller, like, something like that. Whereas in Haiti, there's people who still take it seriously as a serious religion. Like, we're still living like parts of the country where everyone is still doing that, and they still like believe it very, because they got to keep it very intact. A lot of slaves escaping to the hills in Haiti, and they were only one generation out of slavery, and they kept like that culture very alive there, and they're still
yeah, that's like when they came up with the wrestler Papa Shango, who ended up being the Godfather. That's the same guy.
I never realized after the fact.
Same guy. Papa Shango comes to the ring. He's got chicken bones and some skulls and shit.
That dude went from one stereotype. That dude went from one stereotype to another, man. We went one scene to another.
He was like, we need a nigga that's gonna throw all black people under the bus. He was like, all right.
Yeah.
His hand.
I saw an info that Serpent in the Rainbow. That was that Haitian people. And you know what he should hate when he should put like,
that shit is real.
Yeah,
that's real. That shit is real.
It's based on a real book, and it's considered a very authentic book. But it's funny when Hollywood. I feel like Jamaicans, people know at least what they're supposed to sound like, even if it's a stereotype, because of those "Come Back to Jamaica" commercials.
Yeah.
So people had this idea what Jamaicans were supposed to sound like, even if it wasn't authentic. It was like, "Amen, amen." It was this weird, but people had no idea what a Haitian person was supposed to sound like in Hollywood. So I remember what I used to hate. They used to do this. They would just put a black person and give them a weirdly French accent, and Haitian people don't talk like that. Yeah, it would be like we z. I'm like, dude, this sounds like
Then you had like in the '90s, in the early '90s, you had, especially out here, you had a lot of those white boys that would have those I don't even call them dreads, man. It was just matted hair, and they would have these groups like Sublime. Their music always had some type of ska or reggae sound to it. You know what I'm saying? Like you had them. You had like that was
they call those guys crust. They call this guy crust punks and stuff like that. Those people with those weird matted dreads.
Yeah, and they dressed with those ripped up looking pants on. They always hung out at the beach.
And a lot of dudes will smell as bad as they look because they be believing in extra stuff like going natural and not using deodorant and stuff like that. They gotta take
the only thing you need them dudes for is if you want to buy some weed, because they got some fire. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Other than that, you ain't gonna be hanging around them dudes. Them motherfuckers don't bathe. They don't do shit.
But you know what the problem with those dudes is? At the end of the day, they're still very white and American. So the white American way is, hey, if 24 ounces is good, 48 ounces is great. Like, supersize me, big gulp. So like a lot of white people weed is just too strong, man. That stuff will knock you on your ass. You can't do anything
Yeah.
for the whole day. That's
Yep.
the one thing. Like their weed will be good, but you can't just
Nah,
like
you ain't gonna don't plan on going anywhere or doing
yeah.
anything because it's gonna put you down for a little while. I used to in my neighborhood, I used to live around some white dudes like that. They lived in my neighborhood and they would be playing Bob Marley all the time, and they always wore like these corduroy fucking fucked up looking pants. Cool as fuck. They hella
Yeah.
cool. That's the thing, they cool as fuck. Give you the shirt off their back if they had one, But
If they had one.
you go over there, when I used to smoke weed, I was a teenager. Man, we would
Yeah.
go over there and get high with these dudes. And you ever get so high to where you like scared?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
man, I don't know if I could go home right now.
There is this like horseshoe effect that happens with weed, right? Where you go from anxious and it calms you down, and if you keep smoking, you end up coming back around
Oh
to
yeah,
anxious again. And
yeah.
their weed used to do that to me. I
That
think
shit used
the
to make
worst,
me anxious as fuck, man. It'd give you like a for real panic attack.
the worst weed I ever tried was in Amsterdam because they have like that genetically engineered super weed
Oh
where
yeah,
they gotta overdo everything. Whenever white people get into a hobby, they always gotta overdo the fuck out of it, So
oh
I
yeah.
went to a cafe, and that's the first time I hallucinated off of weed. Like I almost had a psychotic break off of that
Yeah.
Amsterdam weed, and I never tried any more again. I was like, forget it. I'm good.
See, that's the type of shit they've been doing out here on the West Coast. They've been doing that since the 90s with the hydroponic shit and crossbreeding
Oh
and all
yeah,
this crazy. My brother smokes weed, and
yeah.
I go by his house and I'm like, hey man, what's that? I haven't smoked weed since I was 19 years old. I'll be 39 next month. I was like, what the fuck is that? And he told me what it was, and I smelled it. I was like, man, you about to smoke this shit? Like, what the fuck? Like, bro, I don't know if you should smoke that. Like, I don't know what it's gonna do to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I couldn't smoke it. I'm gonna be in the fucking hospital. It's not my thing.
I wanted to shout out Phil Winter in the chat because Phil Winter's dropping that old school New York game, man. He's talking about like pre-79 Queens, man. That he's dropping some game, man. Talking about how it used to be. Yeah, there were a lot of Haitians, but a lot of Haitians would just kind of keep to themselves, whatever. But Haitians used to be like really bad dressers.
Yeah.
Terrible dressers, like wearing white shoes with dress socks and high waters. Like we're just known for dressing bad. And what's weird now is a lot of Haitian people now are known for dressing really good. I don't know, maybe people overcompensated because the parents were embarrassing them. But now, I hear like high school kids talking about saying stuff, and I missed this whole boat. But I was in the Walgreens. I heard these like girls in Elmont who were going to the high school I went to as a kid, and they're talking. Yeah, I met this dude, and he was Haitian, and the girl was like, "He's Haitian? Oh man, he got a friend." I'm like, "What?
What?
That was not like that." And then she was like, "Yeah, and and those Haitian guys, they can dress." And she goes, "Oh, I know he's got the fly stuff." And I was like, "Wow, things have changed." I remember Haitian people, the fresh out the boat Haitians, right?
Yeah.
That would come to high school, like because someone just from the country, they always have a hazing period where they were just like they came in with their Haitian clothes and everyone was just ragging on them, and then you didn't want no association, so you were like, "Man, just glad it's not me, man."
Nowadays there's Haitians out here now. My brother has a buddy named he name what the fuck is his name, Silas or some shit like that. He's Haitian. Jonas, that's his name. And this motherfucker is Haitian, but he's a goddamn master mechanic, which is crazy. But he has family members that are like first generation in the United States from Haiti. And this lady, she works at the store, hella nice lady. But when you start talking to her, she's like, you be listening to her talking like, what in the world is she talking about? Like, I don't really, because she really thinks that like she's poor. And I'm like, dude, you're not poor. I know where she lives. I'm like, man, you're not poor. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, it's a trip.
What Kane Anderson's saying here is true, man. He said back in the days, someone saying you look Haitian was an insult by your outfit. Yeah, it's true. and now, like, I heard these girls talking about, oh man, he's Haitian. He's a good dresser. Like, I was like, wow, they really changed that image around. They did a 180 on that,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Adidas said back in the days, Cass used to say HBO to clown Haitians. I meant Haitian body odor.
Right.
They would say at the HBO, there was an African booty scratcher
Right. There's a rapper named Maghami who's Haitian, and he has a song called HBO.
Oh, word.
Yeah, Maghami is nice too. He can spit.
I never even heard of him.
Yeah, he's real nice.
Is he old school, current?
No, he's a young dude. He's only like 21 years old. He raps with West Side Gun, all those dudes.
Oh, is he from Buffalo too?
Nah, I don't know where he's from. I think he's from New York somewhere. But yeah, Maghami is nice.
Yeah, I gotta look him up. One thing about Haitian people, they will big up anybody who's Haitian, no matter what. So if I tell my mom, like, this guy Maghami, she'd want to know, even though she hates rap. Like
right.
That's the thing too. Haitian people are so desperate for representation. They make up Haitian people. Like 50 Cent was Haitian for like a good 5 years. They it took a
I knew his grandma. She's really Haitian.
yeah.
Muhammad Ali was Haitian.
Yeah, like those name was Curtis Jackson. They're trying to say he's so maintaining case that first generation Haitians are mad sneaky. Yo, you gotta elaborate on that, man. I gotta hear.
Look, Sly even said first generation Haitians act broke but own 5 houses. That's exactly that lady. This lady got a big ass fucking house, and she's every time I would come through her line because I knew some of her family, and she would always be like, "Yeah, I'm just she's working or whatever." But I'm like, in my mind, I know she doesn't have to work, and she's like, "Yeah, I have family in Haiti. They're always asking me for money." And I don't have any money to send them, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I said, why don't you just bring them here? You got a big ass house. Oh, my house is this. Then her house has got problems. The house got a hole in the roof. There's birds in the roof. There's always something. I just laugh every time I go through that lady's line. It's hilarious.
Maintaining K said Usher.
He's Haitian.
But for like a good 10 years, Haitian people thought he was Haitian. You know how bad it was? What's that?
He looks Haitian.
It's bad. For years, there was the rumors there was Usher Ramon. So everyone's like,
"That's some funny shit."
Usher's Haitian, and I thought it was Usher Ramon for a good 2 or 3 years. Me and my boys called him Usher Ramon. I'm talking about before the song "You Remind Me of My Jeep." Remember he came out way before.
Yeah.
As a kid, he was a kid before. He was on soundtracks and stuff.
Yeah.
But he didn't go by Usher. He went by his whole name. But somehow
he was Usher Raymond.
Yeah, but somehow Haitian people turned to Usher Ramon, and that he was changing his spelling to anglicize it and stuff. No, he is. B. Scott said
he is ADOS. He's from fucking Tennessee. He's from Tennessee somewhere.
Yeah, that's the point. We're saying that he was nowhere near as Haitian, but Haitian people want representation so bad they convinced themselves that he was Asian, and then the story became he was half Haitian.
Oh my god!
A little bit longer. Yeah, but that was a serious. Oh, wait a minute. I found an article still claiming he has Haitian roots. So maybe
he said that.
Let me see. There's an article that claims he has Haitian roots.
Oh Lord, that motherfucker from Nashville, Tennessee, or some shit. From Murfreesboro.
Oh, okay. This is interesting. So it didn't come out of nowhere. His father he's 1/4 Haitian.
Oh, fuck.
So it didn't come out.
So that means he's Haitian. He's Haitian. That means he's Haitian. That means he's Haitian.
Yes. So according to this, he's 1/4 Haitian. But I guess so. It didn't come out of nowhere, I guess. But Haitian people turned him into totally Haitian.
And well, they turned it into he was in Haiti. He was born in Haiti.
yeah.
But that's black people as a whole, man. When black people find out that somebody is black, like when everybody found out that Slash from Guns N' Roses was black. Yeah. Oh my god.
some of these Slash was like a Geechee by the time they were done.
Oh my god, man, he fucking Shaka Zulu's great grandson.
Oh man. Oh, but King Anderson said I found out he wasn't Haitian last month. Like, dude. Wait. So is even the 1/4 Haitian thing not true? Because Maintaining K said he refuted it recently.
I never heard he was Haitian until today. You just told me. I never heard that before.
Dude, we held on to him for like a long time. There's one guy from De La Soul who's Haitian. I think it's
Plug
True
One is
Grit
Haitian.
Dub. What's that?
Is it Plug One? That's Haitian.
Oh no, Plug 2 I think is Haitian. His last name is Jolicoeur.
Oh,
Yeah, he's Haitian.
damn, I didn't know
but
that.
yeah, but Plug 1 isn't. Yeah,
But in New York City, dude, like I didn't know Fabulous was Dominican. You know what I'm saying? Like in New York City, all rappers are something. Like they're not, Busta Rhymes is Jamaican, KRS-One is Jamaican. Like everybody is something coming from New York City. I mean, so
yeah, but I remember Bad Boys 2, I think, was the first movie that had like a Haitian gang in it, and then now Rick Ross is always rapping about Haitians and stuff, and Future's always shouting out Haitians. But I remember people used to hide being Haitian, and people used to get mad at the guy from De La Soul because how we all found out he was Haitian. On 3 Feet High and Rising and those albums, they put the writing credits and Haitian people do nothing but look for Haitian people. It's a obsession. Looking for other Haitian people.
Yeah.
In the brackets, when they say who wrote it, one of the guys' name is like D. Jolicoeur. And me and my cousin were like, one of them's gotta be Haitian. And then Haitian people got mad. They goes, why did you never talk about being Haitian? That soul's huge as hell. He could put us on. It wasn't until Fuji's and Wyclef that we got somebody who was willing to cop to being Haitian, like loud and vocally. But even he was still acting Jamaican half the time. So it was like a mixed bag,
That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. Even LL Cool J in his diss song, he called him a Bob Marley imposter. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. Cannabis is Jamaican.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I can see
Cannabis is he had gotten into an argument with some dude and just started speaking straight up patois, yelling at him and shit like crazy, like screaming on him.
Oh,
like,
you know what?
Crazy.
He's got a really Jamaican face, like those cheekbones and everything.
Dude, and that's what I be saying when I was in Miami. There's a lot of Barbadians. Black people down there from everywhere, and they always have this distinct. Like my homegirl Jamila, she's Barbadian, and I said, "Man, y'all look different." And she was like, "What you mean?" I said, "Man, y'all look different." I said, "I know y'all black, but y'all look different. Like something ain't." Like if you come out here on the West Coast, people are gonna be looking at you like, "Where the fuck is you from?" You know what I mean? They just have a different look. You know what I'm saying? So Barbadians and like people from the Cayman Islands or whatever.
There's a tribe in Africa. There's a group in Africa. I have a lot of them in my blood. Nelson Mandela has it too, but I'm drawing a blank. Koison. Koison people have a certain type of look, right? Some of them maintain that they're not black people. Koison one of those groups that say we're not black, but do you know what Koison is?
No.
Koison people, and we have a lot of people that look like this in my family. They kind of have my color. My eyes are kind of like small. When I was younger, they would look a lot more Asian. My niece has straight up Asian eyes. But I'll show you what Koison people look like. And Nelson Mandela is from this tribe in Africa. And if you look at them, you can see they have a certain type of look. They look really kind of Asian. You can see the kind of like that's. But cannabis totally has that Koison look. He has it like to the nth degree. They're all like about my color. They got like small eyes, and a lot of them will even have that cheekbone. I think some parts of the Caribbean have more Koison than others. Like you see how this girl and her kid looks. They kind of look like there's something Asian and black going on, and Nelson Mandela totally has that. He's from the Koison people. Cannabis has like the most Koison face I've ever seen. I don't know where they found that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The cannabis looks like they just plucked him off a Koison tribe and just taught him how to rap. I've never seen anybody in the diaspora who wasn't straight from Africa looked at Koison.
It said Cannabis' dad is a cricketer. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Cricket's big time in the Caribbean.
Yeah, yeah. Um, someone said B. Scott said, "Y'all look alike. I can't tell a difference, but I don't know what she's talking about." Someone said Jason Derulo's Haitian. He's a tough one because people aren't crazy about him because he's kind of corny. He's like a nice guy, but he's kind of corny. Jason Derulo. He been doing some stuff. Have you seen his social media?
No.
I'm gonna show you something.
You talking about on like Twitter? I can't get on Twitter. I'm blocked. I'm banned. Remember?
But this is on Instagram, so I thought.
Okay.
I thought maybe I'm gonna give you an example, right? Like I was really rooting for him, you know, when he came out, but he just does too much corny stuff. I want to find. Let me see if I can find it. He's one of those people, right? Where under quarantine, he's really getting bored, and he's like doing even more stuff on social media. Like quarantine's the worst thing to happen to these celebrities. So I think they really thrive on attention, and they can't just get it as easily as they used to, walking around. So now they're really losing their minds.
Who the fuck is Jason Derulo?
Oh, you know who Jason Derulo is? He's a singer.
Oh, he sings. Okay, I thought it was like an actor.
No, he acts too. He acts too, and he was in Cats. But he's
the movie. What?
That's the thing. He's talented, but he's just kind of corny, man. Am I wrong? People in the chat, am I wrong in saying that he's kind of corny? Oh, he cheated on Jordan Sparks. Damn.
Goddamn.
He messed up.
He's bold.
Yeah. He messed up because she looks like she's a good woman, Jordan Sparks.
Yeah, she looked good, man.
Yeah. And she's one of the people that seem solid too, you know what I'm saying? She's one of those girls. I remember she was like an athlete growing up. I feel like girls who are athletes growing up, you know, they're easier to deal with because they didn't just grow up with focus on being pretty all the time. Like, you know, she's like the kind of chick you just kick it with, you know. I didn't know he cheated on
her dad was in the NFL.
Oh yeah, that explains it too. Yeah.
Sparks.
I can't find the example of Jason Derulo. But his name in Creole in French is spelled like DESROULEAUX, and then
that sounds kind of made up.
No, that's a real French name. But
is it really?
Yeah, Derulo, but he changed it to DERULO.
Okay.
Americanize it.
Yeah.
So the spelling of it is fake, but hold on. I'll give an example. I found one. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an example of the kind of stuff he does. And when you see him, you might recognize him.
Okay, which is which?
Jason Derulo is the one on the left.
Okay.
I'm gonna play it now.
Where you at? No, I'm good. Hey. Oh, I told you to man, stop fucking them dirty bitches. This nice. Well, damn, you got a fat ass.
Yeah, he be doing stuff like that.
Yeah. That's not funny.
It's not funny, and he just under quarantine he's just doing more and more of these. And there's even a lot of girls who thought he was hot. And if you go on like Twitter, a lot of them are like, Jason Derulo, you're like ruining this. Like I can't even like fantasize about you anymore. You're just too.
He's a fucking cornball.
Yeah. He's a TikTok is what he uses, which is like for the kids. But yeah, under quarantine, all he's doing now is doing TikTok, and he just won't stop. And people are kind of telling him, listen, you're ruining the illusion. Like you can dance, you have abs, you're young, whatever. We don't want to see this much of you because you know who he reminds me of, man. You ever have a friend, right? You ever have a friend who's technically good looking, right? But he keeps talking himself out of ass because he's just kind of corny, and part of wants to tell him, listen, just don't talk so much,
right?
Because you keep talking yourself out of ass. I feel like that's him now in the quarantine. He's just see, this is interesting. Solam said it's okay to be corny. BC said corny gets you paid. I mean, in this post Drake era, it's true because I come from an era where like if you're black and you're corny, it was like fatal.
Yeah, you were out of here.
Yeah, you're out of here. But that's true. I mean, and that's good too because if that leads to less people, getting into gangster stuff and all that stuff, then hey.
Yeah, hey, I don't even know who that guy is. I hate to say it like that. Maybe maybe if I heard a song or something, but I have no idea who that dude is.
No, I'll be honest. I never heard any of his songs. I just know him as Jordan Sparks' boyfriend, and I know he sings and stuff. Hold on, I'll give you another example. Like they need to get him off of TikTok. Like his management needs to get in there. Oh, hey, Stand Out with the Handouts. What's going on, man? I always got to shout out Stand Out because I just love that name. So I got to shout
Stand Out without the handouts.
Stand Out without the handouts. I just always love that name, man. That's my dude, man. One love Standouts. Oh yeah, so check this out. That's a perfect example. And he's not light skinned, but he's got a severe light skin energy, which never helps, right? So here you go.
Bitch, I got it out the muscle. You wanna fight on tussle? I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's been doing that all day, and it's like, dude, does he have an album to cut? Like,
how old is that dude?
What's that?
How old is he?
Good question. I don't know, man. I feel like celebrities now, man, they're too accessible. You know what I'm saying? You should not be able to see Will Smith
dude,
all the time.
You remember when I said that? That was
yeah.
That was the whole thing that I said about Kendrick Lamar. I said the reason why Kendrick Lamar is the best because he makes good music and you don't see him.
Yeah, and Will Smith used to be like that. Now Will Smith is an influencer too. Will Smith, you can't get away from that dude.
But Will Smith he's made his bones. He can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. Like, there's really nothing you can say about Will. Like
Will made his bones, but I don't want to see him do that. Like I don't want to see him doing TikToks. I'm sorry.
But at least he's doing it with his family. He's not doing.
Yeah, that's true.
He's doing it with his family. Like, he's not doing corny shit by himself or trying to get attention. If you're not into him and his family, you ain't gonna be fucking with him.
Oh, and actually, you know what? Too, to give Will Smith some credit, I feel like Will Smith is kind of doing it to help put his kids on. Because
hell yeah.
Yeah, because his kids will get more attention on social media if he pops in now and again. So that's fair.
Yeah,
that is fair. Oh, Jason Derulo does something else where he sings his name all the time. But there's a lot of stuff. I don't know any of his songs, but he's 27. Yeah. People always talk about how corny he is. People always talk about how corny Jamel Hill is, and they're always cracking jokes about like corny is kind of becoming his brand, and I don't know if that's gonna help him or hurt him. I don't know, because I mean, does his music sell a lot?
I don't even know who this motherfucker is, so that doesn't mean he don't sell a lot of records. But I have no idea who that dude is. I mean, he's 27 years old. He ain't doing nothing that all these other corny ass motherfucking 27-year-olds ain't doing.
Jason Derulo.
I'm gonna show you another example. This is my last thing to give you an idea how he's corny, and then I'm gonna leave it alone.
Jason Derulo. 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 Jason.
I don't know why this dude loves singing his own name.
Jason Derulo. Jason Derulo. Jason Derulo. Jason Derulo. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? My name is Jason Derulo. Jason Derulo.
He's trolling himself.
That shit goes on for a while. I have to stop.
Yeah, he's trolling himself, but I'm not shocked. The dude's 27 years old. He's using social media to whatever advantage, I guess. But I mean,
yo, and you know what he does too. This is like really light skinned. I used to do this, and I had to be taught not to do it. But he's been doing this a lot. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but that's like the terrible. He has a super light skin energy, even though he's technically like brown skin and stuff.
Jordan Sparks has got to be at least 31, 32.
So that must mean she's older than him, or maybe I saw an old thing and that's not his age anymore. He's born in 89. Oh, so actually he's 31 now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they got to be around the same age.
That should have stuck in my head. Jason Derulo.
Yeah, I have no idea who that dude is, man. That's beyond me,
man.
I don't know. I'll be in the fucking Twilight Zone half the time when it comes to music.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know any of his songs though. I just know him for being famous. Like, I don't really know him for anything else. But yeah, that dude be forever licking his lips and looking like saucy at the camera and stuff.
Hey man, somebody told him he looked good. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Somebody told him he looked good.
He's not a bad looking guy, I give it to him, but even when you're good looking, it doesn't look good to keep doing that stuff. I don't know. Well, Jason Derulo.
I don't know, man. Shit. That's this generation, man. They I was telling my daughter I have no idea what we would have did if I had access to social media as a teenager. I'm kind of glad I didn't have access to it because I used to do some stupid shit. So
yeah, I remember one time I hooked up with this girl, and I was like biting my lip, and she was like, "You need to stop doing that. That shit is not cute." And I remember, oh damn, that broke me out of the habit.
She just called you out.
Yeah, he just called me out. He was like, "Yo," she was like, "You're cute, but that biting that lip thing, that is not the move." And then I remember. So you said that I broke that habit. Like
it's like you got a go-to shirt. You meet a girl and she's like, "Why are you wearing that?" You start questioning yourself. Damn, why am I wearing this?
Yeah. And that's I'm thinking, like, damn, I do that a lot. Was I looking bad this whole time? Like, what I'm saying? Like,
right, exactly.
I wear that shirt everywhere.
Exactly. You're like, damn, now I've been fucking up for a long time.
Damn, Mono 1-2 called him Haitian Derulo. You should call him that. Haitian Derulo.
Haitian Derulo. That's funny.
Haitian Derulo. That movie Cats that flopped?
I never see. I know about the play Cats.
They made a movie, Cats, and it was like it flopped so hard that it
was it based on the play?
Mm-hmm. And it came out only like last year. And it's like considered like the biggest flop that's happened in a long time.
Oh wow!
This thing flopped so hard that they said that's like an incredible amount of money. And then on top of that, the computer effects, they apparently released it without finishing the computer effects. So like people's hands were showing, like they're bare, like the green screen, and this was the CGI, like the hands and stuff. They would forget to do the hands.
Oh,
and there's all these mistakes. This is how bad it was. 1 week after it came out, this is how rushed and messed up it was. That's released a second version to correct the special effects while it was in the theater.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, and apparently there's an all buttholes cut, right? Where they put buttholes for the cats on the costumes, right? CGI. So the whole movie, they had like you know how when the cat walks away, you can see the cat's butthole. They put that in the costumes, and then I guess it tested really badly. So at the last minute, they digitally erased all the buttholes. But apparently, there's all buttholes cut of cats. So yeah, this movie has nothing but bad.
Motherfuckers was overthinking this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we forgot? Buttholes. Yeah, that's a good idea. And then it came time to final cut. You know what? I'm not feeling the buttholes. What the fuck are you doing?
And I read that they had to spend a bunch of money just to digitally remove all the buttholes. Apparently, it was really expensive to do.
Oh shit! I don't understand it. I don't understand it, man. What the fuck?
And
that's unbelievable.
And they got Jennifer Hudson to be in it. I'm like, come on, Jennifer Hudson, you deserve better than that. Jennifer Hudson can sing. This is Jason Derulo in Cats.
Take place on November 1st. If you
know, oh wait, that's not it. Here we go.
If you offer me fashion, I'd rather have grouse. Put me in a house, I would much prefer a flat. If you put me in a flat, then I'd rather have a house. You set me on a mouse, then I only want to ride. You set me on a rat, then I'd rather take a mouse.
I think are these roaches? I don't know. Yeah. Okay, that's enough of that. I'm gonna get a copyright strike over this crap.
You sure the fuck is.
Yeah. Actually, that studio's so ashamed of this movie, they probably don't even want to even claim ownership.
They don't even want to have to go through court to sue you for that shit. They be reminded that they put that bullshit out.
Yeah, but I mean,
I've never been a fan of. I mean, they down here in Portland, they used to always have the Schnitzer hog cats would always come here. This shit just looked weird. I'm like, man, that's some weird looking shit. Like, I'm not trying to be up in there in that weird shit, yo.
And they don't remind me of cats, man. They remind me of like the original furries. Like there's something weird and kinky about
fucking
that.
Gremlins, like the fucking original Gremlins. Gizmo from the Gremlins.
Man,
that's some weird shit, man. But no, man, you gotta check that Al Capone movie out. That shit is good, man. It's weird. It's really weird, but it's good.
Okay. Is it on Netflix?
I don't know. I have a Fire Stick. You know, I'm hacking everything.
But I have one too. Watching.
Yeah, it's on there. But if you Lawrence Bender is the one that wrote and directed it. It's really good.
So how about this? I'll watch it after we get off, right? Because I want to keep this one short.
Yeah.
I feel like if we keep doing it too long, they're gonna get sick of us and stop tuning in. We can't spoil everybody, but I'll watch it after we get off, and we could talk about it next time we do a live stream. I want to also talk about Menace. I'm gonna watch Menace, and we can talk about that. And anything else? What else should I watch? I'll figure it out.
Was it Menace to Society? We've already watched them. We watched them all. I mean, I watched Trespass. I watched Frank White, King of New York. I watched Boys in the Hood. I watched.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, we don't really need to watch any new movies because I think we've already watched so many of the same movies while in quarantine.
Yeah.
That all we gotta do is pick movies.
I haven't. BC says South Central. I haven't watched South Central in shit. I haven't seen South Central in probably 20 years. I remember not liking it when I first saw it. I didn't like it.
I remember not remembering much about it. I just remember it was a father and a son.
Yeah.
Like, I remember a lot of the details of it. That much I remember. I remember like it didn't really.
Fresh is dope. Yeah, hell yeah, Fresh is a good ass movie.
Yo, I'll tell you what I watched under quarantine. I watched The Spooker Sat by the Door.
Yeah.
I watched Boys in the Hood, Deep Cover, Sugar Hill. Some of these were rewatches. Some of them were first time watches. Set It Off. Losing Ground. That's a obscure black movie, but it's pretty good. I watched House Party.
Oh yeah, House Party. Yeah, I watched all 3 of those.
Oh, so you know what? We actually have a lot of stuff we could talk about. We don't.
Yeah.
I watched Baby Boy. I watched every single Planet of the Apes movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, I'm gonna talk about Planet of the Apes. Did you see the new Planet of the Apes?
I've never seen any of them.
Oh man, they had a new Planet of the Apes.
Is that the one with Samuel L. Jackson?
No, I don't think he's in this one. I mean, you never know because he be in things you don't even know he's in them. Like
I thought Samuel L. Jackson was in one of the Planet of the Apes where he played some type of military dude trying to kill the fucking ape. Or was that a different movie?
I think it was a different movie because I watched all of them, especially if he wasn't in makeup. Then he wasn't. I saw a 9 Planet of the Apes movie in 1 week's time.
Yeah, 2008. B. Scott said he was. That's what I thought. He was in the last Planet of the Apes. He was the military dude. No, oh, that was King Kong. Okay.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They had this new Planet of the Apes trilogy, right? The first one's called Rise, and I thought Rise was dope. Rise was really good. But then there's 2 more, and when I said I liked Rise, everyone was like, "Oh man, if you like Rise, the next 2 are even better." I watched the next 2. I did not like them. Rise, I thought was really good, and I did not like the next 2 because the next 2 was trying too hard. The next 2 was like Christopher Nolan Batman, where it was trying to be like dark and deep. And the first of the new trilogy, you should watch that because that one's kind of like Shawshank Redemption, where you watch the ape getting smarter, and the ape is smart as fuck, and the ape is thinking about all these tactics. So the way he's getting out of jail is like how Shawshank Redemption. Remember in the beginning, Tim Robbins' character is kind of can't figure things out. But he's doing trial and error. Like it was really good. And then in the next 2 movies, the ape is just a superhero. The ape is just Captain America. He's just a badass.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't really learn anything. He doesn't do anything smart anymore. The ape is just a badass, and nobody questions him. And he just shows up and he has plot armor all the time. And then I didn't really like it. And they have no science fiction in them, but you should try that. Oh, Mario Lewis asked if we saw Waves. I've heard bad things about Waves. What's that?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I heard it's like some people told me it's like tragedy porn. Do any of y'all recommend Waves? We have a little bit of delay, so I want to see if anybody talks about Waves. Oh, Soldier Story is great. I saw Soldier Story about 2 or 3 months ago, so I didn't bother. I saw it pre-quarantine, so I didn't bother rewatching it. But Soldier Story is a good one because I picked up stuff this last time around on Soldier Story I didn't pick up before. Like I couldn't tell this last time around if the guy that got killed, I couldn't tell if he was a coon and was self-hating or if he was pro-black because it was kind of mixed to me. Like he kind of hated that other guy because he saw him kind of as a coon, but at the same time, he kind of seemed to hate himself too. Like I couldn't figure out what was going on with him. It was really nuanced in a way I couldn't figure out. It was really interesting. If you have any thoughts on that, I'm curious. Like
I haven't seen it in so long. I'd have to watch it again. I haven't seen Soldier Story in years.
You should watch it because I'm curious about your take because I couldn't figure it out. Like it was very realistic and nuanced. It wasn't like how they do now with everything. You know, nowadays, if somebody's a coon, they just wear it on his feet.
He just comes out shuffling his feet.
Yeah, he's shuffling his feet. If somebody's pro-black, they're just the pro-black guy. Like he was very realistically like nuanced. Yeah, I saw an info said the same thing. He was pro-black but self-hating, and he was so in such a realistic way that I couldn't figure out at the end like what his deal was, but it made it very fascinating. You should definitely, if you get a chance, if you watch.
There was a lot of that in Spook the Sat by the Door.
Yeah, Spooky Sat by the Door was a lot more nuanced than I remembered. You know, Spooky Sat by the Door had in it that I didn't pick up the first time, but was very that jumped out at me this time. Where
Jamila's dad.
what's that?
What's that? Jamila's dad.
Oh yeah, that's
Jamila Lemieux's dad.
Jamila Lemieux's dad's in there. That dude has dreads now and is a cop. He has funny business.
Yeah,
but in Spooky Sat by the Door, they had this guy who the main character kind of calls him out. He's like, if you're gonna be a coon, you know, like be a coon. If you're gonna be a radical, but you're trying to have it both ways. The guy was telling him, yo, don't blow up the curve. If you blow up the curve or the grading curve, all of us can't get in.
absolutely.
And this dude was like, yo, I don't care about the curve. I need to get in and do what I got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I'm in, you know, but they're trying to have it both ways. You're trying to be fake pro-black, but also it was like half a sellout, you know? And
you remember a lot of those dudes are Greeks.
Yeah, they put that in there too.
That's why they have that mindset. They're all doing just enough to get by. They're not trying to be extraordinary. Because if one is extraordinary, now you're throwing us under the bus by being better than us.
Exactly. And they want to talk pro-black, but not really rock the boat. They want to be superficially pro-black. And you're right. They were Greek, and they made a show of pointing that out and having them talk about
doing
it.
a little handshake and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, and those guys were like the original blue checks. Like they were basically it was really good.
They wasn't going in there for the same reason the main brother was going in there for. They was going in there for status. That was all that mattered to them. They were going in for status, and that was it. Which is funny because that movie came out in 1971?
Yeah, it was really ahead of its time.
Way ahead of its time.
Even the music is great. Like it's just a good, solid movie, and it never slows down. You never get bored. But you know who's remaking it?
Who?
As a TV series?
Oh yeah. I heard. Yeah. Unfortunately,
I'm really curious how he's gonna do it. I don't know.
First of all, I believe that Sam Greenlee died some years ago, 6-7 years ago, 8-9 years ago. I don't think that he owns the rights to that book anymore. I don't think he does. But yeah, I heard that Lee Daniels is doing it, and
yep, it's Lee Daniels.
Just get ready for it to be some kind of way they're gonna throw some type of gay twist. Straight black men are going under the bus. Black women are gonna be getting beat down. You know, he's invested in making horror movies when it comes to the black community.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Precious is a fucking horror movie.
Same with Monsters Ball, and he's bringing it back as a TV series. That thing,
and I'm guessing it's gonna probably be on Fox. It's gonna be sanitized like a motherfucker. Like it ain't gonna no.
I think it's actually. Let me double check. I think it might be HBO, but to me, that's worse with Lee Daniels because he'll use that extra leeway to just put more sex in it and more.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole lot. It's gonna be gay sex, black women getting beat down with pipe wrenches, black dudes is gonna be beating down gay dudes. It's just gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna be a joke.
Oh, I'm wrong. It's FX, but I think FX
that's Fox.
allows. Yeah, it's owned by Fox, but I think FX allows a little more stuff in it.
They allow cussing, because I remember
they don't have nudity
on FX, and there was a lot of cussing. It was like I was like, damn man, they cussing that night. This is in the late 90s.
Oh wait, The Shield was on FX.
Oh, The Shield, not The Commish.
I think The Shield had some nudity.
Hell yeah, well they was cussing too. They cussed on the Shield,
yeah. But
yeah, exactly. BC is going to be a whole lot of deviancy. I don't want to get us in any trouble, so I'm not going to say certain things. But there is going to be some deviancy, and you know how I feel about people that are sexual deviants. So,
well, one thing I'll say about Lee Daniels. A lot of my gay friends don't like him either because they say that he just makes being gay just seem like all you're thinking about is the next piece of private parts that you're gonna
yes, that's my whole point. Exactly. Yeah, I'm not throwing gay people under the bus, because I have people in my family that are gay, and they're like, we ain't rocking with that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's some mental illness shit. You know what I'm saying?
And what's funny is he portrays straight people as deviants too, but he portrays gay people as really deviant. Like all these do is just care about. And I remember even my mom said that she was watching it. She's like, "Is the guy who mixes gay? Because why would he portray gay people like this? Like she didn't even understand why he was
That dude has a serious self-hate problem, really, when it comes to black people as a whole. So your sexuality doesn't matter to him because really, he sleeps and lays up with white men. So, he's in Hollywood doing all the weird shit with all the white dudes.
Yeah.
So for him, I remember when that whole with Jussie Smollett, when that shit went down, he was the first one. Oh, Jussie, we got your back. We got your back. Motherfucker, shut up. You know what I'm saying? And he was in on it too. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, that motherfucker was in on it too. You know what I mean? I guarantee you, Jussie Smollett told him what he did, and he was like, "Well, we can use this to our advantage." But then when shit hit the fan, he's like, "Well, I gotta fire you, bro. Like, I'm sorry." You know what I mean?
No, that's what he's like. He's one of those people.
He's a fucking snake.
You could tell he reached 48 Laws of Power. Even on Empire, he worked it into a plot line where one episode the dude was reading 48 Laws of Power, and I'm like, I bet freaking Lee Daniels himself reads this shit like religiously, like his Bible and stuff.
Look, 2008 B Scott said Lee Daniels just secretly wants to be in the porn industry. Yes, but on the side of the porn that you don't want to watch because it makes your stomach hurt, like that kind of shit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He wants to be watching the people that abuse. I don't even call that porn; it's abuse, where they're just beating the shit out of each other.
he does. You know what he does? He does PG ghetto gaggers. He does rated PG ghetto gaggers.
Yes, because I remember when Precious came out, and I watched the first 20 minutes of it. I was like, man, turn that shit off. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a horror movie. It's just horror. It's just bad. It's just horrible.
Monsters Ball 2 was also bad. No, that can't be true. Is
what about Monsters Ball?
No. What Phil said. I don't want to repeat this if it's not true. Hold on.
Ooh, I hope not.
Yeah, because
that's gross.
Oh my god, it's true. Wow.
Oh my god.
This says so much, and I hate that I'm not surprised.
There's a lot about that motherfucker, huh?
Okay, so Phil said Lee Daniels said he was a bug chaser at one time. Now, for people who don't know what a bug chaser is, that's someone who deliberately tries to get HIV. There's different rationales for it. There was a movie about it, and the gay community shut it down. Is it a 2000s?
It's all the same kind of crazy.
Yeah. So this documentary was shut down, but different gay people have admitted that it does exist, bug chasing, and people have different reasons for coming to it. Some people feel like it's such an inevitable part to them of being gay. They figure, let me just get it out of the way. And then some people think it's a way to be part of
an exclusive group.
Yeah, exactly. And it sounds so crazy. I like it can't be true, but sure enough, I googled what Phil Opian said, and he's right. It's right here. Lee Daniels recalled the sad reason he tried to contract HIV/AIDS. Yeah, so he did. He's also said in interviews some really greasy things about black women. He's one of those guys who had some weird issues with black women. He was talking about being in the welfare office, being around black women. How he'd never want to do it. All the black women in the welfare office, all fat and nasty, and you kind of see how he portrayed Precious and the mother and stuff.
That motherfucker hates black. You know what it is, man. And I'm not gonna get in trouble for saying this. He's one of those gay dudes that hate black women because he can't be a black woman. He wants to be a woman so bad.
Maybe something's going on because there's a certain type of black woman that likes Lee Daniel and Empire. And on the side because he's throwing black men under the bus and calling them.
Yeah, they also watch The View and they love those old Patti LaBelle songs where he's kicking her shoes off and They love George Michael, and there's nothing wrong with George Michael. George Michael's dope. But yeah, there's that the ages between 35 and 60. Yeah.
And they
divorced 3 times, kids ain't shit. You know, every husband wasn't worth the fuck. It's never their fault though.
Yeah,
get that. It's never their fault.
They don't see that Lee Daniels, like, he hates them as much as he hates straight black men. He has contempt for the whole black community. I think, but he said he was trying to get it because so many of his friends got it, but he said it was a miracle he didn't get it. So for him to say it's a miracle,
that means he was actually trying to get it.
Yeah, but that's that he was having a lot of reckless sex. So when you hear that, it makes his depiction of the gay community make more sense because his community, his gay experience was probably that. You know, there's a lot of regular gay dudes who just
where's Lee Daniels from?
I don't know. It's a good question. But there's a lot of gay dudes who don't live that way. But Lee Daniels probably doesn't hang out with them. Lee Daniels, that's not his, thing. Yeah, let me see.
Lee Daniels.
I tried to find. Oh, he's from Philadelphia. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from Philly. He's from Philly, but yeah, man, that's I don't know. But
he's too old to be. He's 60 fucking years old, man. That dude's a big ass kid in an old man's body.
Yeah, every time I think I've heard the worst thing about him. He keeps surprising me, and he's doing. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna find some of the things that he said that have been.
He's just a horrible human being.
Okay, he said, these are things that he said in his past. He dismissed Oscars so white, and he called them whiners. And I don't fully disagree with him there, but still.
I just don't want to hear him. He can't say that.
Yeah.
He's saying it for an entirely different reason why we're saying it.
Yeah, exactly. He's saying it for like a very different reason. He said, about black women on welfare. Hold on, I think I found it. Let me see. Okay, so here we go. But he does not respect black women. I'm sorry, and I'm gonna tell you something else before we go. That about Precious. Did you ever see all of Precious?
I didn't see the whole thing. No, I refuse.
He really believes in white saviors. He truly believes in white saviors.
When I was doing the research for Precious, I walked into the AIDS, the AIDS, what's it called? The Gay Men's Health Crisis Center in New York City, studying AIDS, HIV. And I expected to see a room full of gay men. Well, there are nothing but women that are there. And the reason why women are there, black women with kids. I thought I had walked into the welfare office, but they service black women with AIDS. Why?
So
motherfucker said, I thought I walked into the welfare office because only black women are in the welfare office, of course.
Exactly. And when you see black women in a group, the first thing that's going to come to your mind is welfare, not church, not a cookout, not a family reunion, not getting together to see a play. Nothing normal. A group of black women automatically means welfare office. But no, they weren't in a welfare office. They were in an AIDS office. So
I hate to be all spooky and shit, but nothing good is ever going to happen for Lee Daniels. That motherfucker's in torment right now. He's not happy with himself. He hates everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because he can't be whatever's going on in that fucked up ass brain of his. He hasn't figured his way around that shit. So his only way to get around that is by hating everybody. Everybody that he talks about that looks like him, he hates them.
Yeah, exactly. He has never anything bad to say about white people.
Never.
Ever. And the only people he likes are the people that he can't be, and that's no way to be. But in Precious, right? Everybody in that movie who is good is biracial. Like, there's no white people in the movie, right? And there's this type of movie, right, that I call, like, people say, oh, no more white savior movies. I don't want any more white savior movies. But what they do, which is very slick,
go get the mulatto saviors.
They get the mulatto saviors. So his whole movie, Precious, if you look at that, every single person that is helping Precious and is not a monster, there's Mariah Carey, Lenny Kravitz, and Paula Patton. They're all biracial. Like, what are you saying with that? That's weird.
Well, they replaced the white people because they can be really, really light skinned or fair skinned and talk white. And then in your brain, you're going to start to see those dynamics. Remember yesterday we were talking about how in Belly, you know what I'm saying, whenever you show DMX, everything was dark and greasy and shit like that. So it's the same thing with this. When you see Precious and her mama, they look a fucking mess. They're big women, dark skin, all that kind of shit, looking sloppy. Exactly. Yeah. But then you look at Mariah Carey, Lenny Kravitz, Paula Patton, they're light skinned and they always have quote unquote good intentions.
Yep. And there's this type of movie where I call the black non-savior movie. And what I mean by that is, right, a white savior movie is when like the white savior comes and saves everything. So Hollywood knows to a degree, oh wait, these people are hip now, we can't give them a white savior movie. So then what they give you is the black non-savior movie. That is, the black non-savior movie is the white savior movie if the white person never shows up.
If they never show up, right.
You have a bunch of black people who can't save themselves.
Well, they bring in the light-skinned person that works for the white person.
Yeah. So the black people can't save themselves. And what Lee Daniels did, right? All those mulatto people, they could only halfway save her.
Yeah.
And think about that. And why can they only halfway save her? None of the mulattoes can actually save her. They only can halfway save her. And why? Because they were halfway white.
Yeah, so, they were, and the way that they do things is halfway. So they're social workers, and they're halfway trying to help, and the other half is, well, shit, I'm going home. I don't give a fuck what y'all going through. I'm going home. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really have to deal with that dark skin, fat, all of that shit that, again, that goes circling around that motherfucker's fucked up brain. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the thing, man. If you're a filmmaker, it's one thing to give us your ideas, but you shouldn't be giving us your experiences in every movie. That means you don't know how to tell a fucking story. You don't have any more stories to give.
Or your hangups or your biases. At least, unless you're using the film to work them out and you get a conclusion. But he's just spewing his toxicity. He's not working it out because he's bringing it into the next movie. Like you know, you watch it like Belly. Belly had a lot of toxic stuff in it, but it does it to kind of work it out. So you get to the end of it and you feel like, you know, you've been through therapy or you've come out the other side. Lee Daniels is supposed to drag you down to his level and keep you there and make you.
Oh man, Skid fucking Row. You're gonna be on Skid, but what that goes to show you is that's where he is mentally. He's mentally, on Skid Row. He can't leave Skid Row. Though he's not gonna leave. The only way he's leaving Skid Row is in a casket because he doesn't want any help.
Nope. Or he wants it from white people, but the only help they got for him is just degrading stuff. That's the only thing they have for him, you know. But if you look at his movies, right? Black people can never save themselves at all.
No.
The best they can get is like a biracial person who'll only halfway save them. When the white person does save you, how does he save you? Like in Monsters Ball, Billy Bob Thornton's character basically puts her ex-lover in jail, exposes her to the racist dad, and keeps her in the house where they're having gutter sex. That's what white people save you with. They save you with gutter sex, and you have to like swallow a lot of fucked up shit. And you know that says a lot about his mindset. But Moonlight was the same way. Moonlight was a black non-savior movie. There was no white people in the movie, and that blue check representation crowd was like, yas, you know, it's representation, and it's like gay, hooray. But
they tried to get over, man, the way they tried to promote that movie like it was some hood shit, and that movie was nothing about that.
And if you look at it, they had the knockout game in it. Everyone's living in total degradation. The mom is strung out, and the thing with a black non-savior movie is when you watch it, even if it's involuntary, there's a part of you that thinks man, if only some white people can come and straighten these people out, like a social worker, something has to happen. Like these people look so lost. There's nothing that they can do. It was.
Yeah, Jamal S is right. He said the difference with Tyler Perry is he never tries to win white approval. That's true.
Yeah, that's true. He doesn't
do that.
And Tyler Perry, like the Boondocks, I think gave him a bad rap because they said that all his heroes are always light skinned, but that's not really true. Some of the bad guys are light skinned, and some of the good guys are dark skinned. I didn't like that Boondocks episode, to be honest. I thought it was mean spirited and it wasn't fully accurate. Because I'll be honest, I think Tyler Perry is more pro black than the guy.
Yeah, but what he does, what's wrong with Tyler Perry is that he always has to show a representation of the people that's been in his life, and he admits that. You know what I'm saying? He does admit that these characters are people that he know. Does it make the storytelling stink? Yeah, it makes it because it becomes redundant. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we know that in Tyler Perry's life, he's never known any good men. You know what I'm saying? His grandma pretty much runs the show. You know what I'm saying? The women in his life has never found a good man. And if they have found a good man, it's not until they're middle-aged and damn near burnt out. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been dealing with ain't shit niggas for 22 years. You know, all that kind of shit, you know? Tyler
Perry has some good men, but the few good men, they usually are involved in the church somehow. Like, you know, they're really religious. Like, you know, it's always the heathen men, which is 3/4 of, you know.
Yeah, that's all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, that are bad. But there's always like a church-fearing guy, but he's corny, you know.
Yeah, he's corny. And he's a single dad of 4 kids. He's struggling, like he's barely getting by. Like I don't like how every black movie just got this black struggle. I get it when we watch hood movies and they sell drugs or whatever. All right, fine. But you look at white movies. For every Godfather, there's a When Harry Met Sally. You know what I'm saying? Towards with us, for every Clockers or New Jack City, we get Precious and Tyler Perry movies. Like goddamn, if we ain't in the street selling dope, then when we go home. My mama been messing with different men for the last 35 years and can't find a good one. And you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
I've seen all of Tyler Perry's stage shows and I've seen all his movies. And I will say this, he's not a great writer.
No.
He's barely even a good writer. There's only one movie he did where the writing was surprisingly good. And that was Why Did I Get Married? I don't know if he had help on that, but that one was surprisingly good. You know which one almost was good? He had this movie Acrimony that had a lot of good stuff in it, but he couldn't end it correctly. It turned into a crazy soap opera horror show at the end where the woman tried to kill the man. But before then, it was interesting. But in general, like he just can't write. But one thing I'll say about him, even in the struggle, I feel like he likes black people. He loves black people.
I think I think he loves black people. It's just that, you know, what was the one he did where the son was a basketball player, really good high school basketball player, and Rick Fox was a coach or a mentor or something, and he liked the kid's mom. He liked the kid's mom, and the mom was just, you know, some bitter old black woman, you know, the stereotype. She ain't got time and he ain't shit and all that. And eventually, at the end of the movie, she finally gave the dude a chance. And at the end of the movie, the kid chose to go from high school to the NBA, and the kid's dad showed up, and they like put the camera right on him. Like the kid went to the NBA, and the dad is just sitting there looking all sheepish, and because he ain't never been shit. And it's like, dude, man, all right, fuck. I give up, shit, you know. Like, God damn. Meet the Browns. That's what it was. Meet the Browns.
Yeah. The Boondocks gets a lot of props for being pro-black, but to me, the Boondocks is like
frat boy pro-black. That's frat boy pro-black.
Yeah, it's frat boy pro-black, and also it's very respectability. Like people like Spike Lee and Aaron Magruder, they don't like Tyler Perry because to them, he's their country cousin that embarrasses them around.
Absolutely. He's cousin Roscoe from North Carolina. That's exactly
what they don't like. He's country. He has stage shows where people have finger waves in their hair and stuff. And like they're basically cracking alongside white people on him because they're embarrassed of him and they want to differentiate themselves. Like I don't think it came from a really good place because if you look at like Boondocks did with the Martin Luther King episode and some of the other episodes, like the itis, like they give a safe space to me for white people to laugh at black people. You know what Boondocks is to me? Boondocks is to me what Dave Chappelle's show people wanted it to be before Dave Chappelle realized where it was headed and he got a conscience. Sometimes, right? I'll give you an example. Remember Hollywood Shuffle when that guy gassed Robert Townsend to not be a sellout, and then as soon as Robert Townsend took a stand and said, "I'm not playing the sellout role," that same dude came up and said, "I'll do it. I'll play the role."
Yep.
That's what I feel like kind of Boondocks is. Like Chappelle's show, I think Chappelle wasn't trying to be anti-black, but he realized that the people laughing at the show weren't laughing at it the way he intended. They were getting something bad out of it. They were laughing at him instead of with him and laughing at black people. And he was like, "Oh, I don't like that." And I feel like Aaron Magruder came in and said, I'll run with it, you know? And Aaron Magruder to me did all the stuff that Chappelle show kind of skirted and was touching on, but ended up not wanting to do. He was willing to do all of it. And like the way he drops N-bombs, like regular black people, no one says nigga that much in conversation.
No.
Like 50 times in the conversation. Like you're doing that because white people get a vicarious thrill of having it said, and they love to be able to watch something on network TV that gives them a license to hear that word 24/7, you know? Jamal asked us something interesting. He said Tyler Perry once said that Spike Lee's problem with him is no different than the beef Langston Hughes has with Zora Neale Hurston. He's half right because that motivates a lot of it, but he's not Zora Neale Hurston in Kraft. that's the problem.
At all. I was about to say, wait a minute. Zora Neale. Really?
That's the problem that makes him hard that's the problem that makes him hard to defend, is that his craft is so bad.
And I think that's part of what Spike Lee, that's part of it, is that he knows the craft is not all that. And he knows that he can get a bigger audience doing that half-ass shit. It's almost like how a lyrical miracle spiritual rapper can't understand why a mumble rapper is selling more records. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
No. He said you recently watched School Days. It was a bit much. No, School Days is legit. That's really, I have cousins that went to Fisk and they're Omega Sci-Fi, and they're older than me, but they were pissed about School Days because that shit was accurate, unfortunately.
SK Jashin said this. I don't totally agree. He said the Chappelle show is meant for us, black people, and white people love it for all the wrong reasons. I don't think that's true. I think it was meant for black people and white people. I think Chappelle thought of it as a way to bring everyone together. Like, I don't think it was not meant for white people too.
Yeah, because Dave Chappelle's not a pro-black. Dave Chappelle's not a quote-unquote pro-black comedian. Like, Dave Chappelle gets on stage and talks about everybody. You know what I mean? He's not like Paul Mooney at all. Like, Dave Chappelle is the ironic comedian. Like, the shit that's funny to him, you'd be like, God damn, I never thought about that. It just happened to be about a black person, or it just happened to be about a white person.
And Dave Chappelle, he didn't come off the black comedy circuit. He didn't come off Def Jam. He did Def Jam later on after he
later. Yeah, he did Def Jam in like 96.
But he came up on that stoner circuit. He had actually a bigger white fan base at one point than black one. But what Dave Chappelle is, I think he, like some of these guys, they do this stuff primarily for white people and black people are afterthought. I don't think Dave Chappelle was that. I think Dave Chappelle really wanted to do a show for black people, but he thought that he could have white people in there too.
Well, you said it just a minute ago. He comes from that stoner comedian background. Like when he first did Half Baked, like black people wasn't going and watching that. You know what I'm saying? Like we wasn't watching that.
Half Baked. Yeah. No. I think what Dave Chappelle's mistake was he thought white people were more good faith than they were. So he thought that he could joke like this with them and they weren't going to laugh at it the wrong way. So I think he's right. He's half right that white people did love it for all the wrong reasons. But I think Dave Chappelle wasn't intending the show just for black people, and I think he did want white people in the room too, because he did the show. his co-writer was a white guy. His co-creator was a white guy. You know, and I think his problem was that he had too much good faith expectations in white people, and he had to learn the hard way that a lot of times, because I think a lot of us learned that. Like I remember when I first made friends with a wigger or two, I used to think, oh, this guy's a wigger. This means he's not racist. And I found out wiggers are some of the most racist people a lot of times you can find. Their ideas of what blackness is, like they're attracted to blackness for all the wrong reasons. They just look at it as a way to engage in some degrading.
And Chappelle would make fun of that. He would make fun of those kind of white people. 2008 B. Scott. No. The dark skin, all natural hair thing in School Days, that was the point. It was supposed to be over the top because that was the message of the movie is like, what the fuck is y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all really are taking this to another level. You know what I mean? Like, that was the point. Like, at the end of the movie, when you got Lawrence Fishburne running, saying, wake up, trying to wake everybody up. Like, that was the point. You know what I mean? Like, and I get it because, you know, Spike Lee's from Brooklyn, but he went to school in Atlanta. And the story behind how School Days was even made has a lot to do with colorism because they was shitting on the guy that played the dean in the movie, like at Morehouse. Like it was either Morehouse or Clark Atlanta where they shot it, but they was shitting on the dean in the movie because he was too dark skinned. You know what I mean? So they kicked Spike Lee off the campus. You know what I mean? Like, so that's something that unfortunately, you know, at HBCUs back in them days and probably still to this day, they got problems with that kind of shit.
Colorism was really bad in the 80s. Like, the 80s.
That Cosby generation that was going to college, going to Howard and Tuskegee and all of those that was a part of the mind is a terrible thing to waste and all that kind of shit, which would be like our older brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? When they were going to college in the late 80s, early 90s, they were still doing that paper bag test at Howard. You know what I'm saying? So
big shout out to SK Jackson. I love you guys. Shout out to the chat room and shout out to Champagne Sharks. Yeah, we love all of y'all, man. Thank you for joining us. I think I'm done. What you said was right about how those colleges were. So I don't really have anything to add to it. Like you said it. You said it all. You nailed it. You know. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a good place to end it because we went a little too long yesterday. Man.
Yeah. I can't do that again today.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I got to go see my nephews and. I got 3 nephews I'm about to go wrestle with. They're going to wear me out.
Yeah. Plus, I want to leave while the getting's good. Because yesterday we went so long, half the chat dropped out. Like, these motherfuckers is going too long, man. It's too much.
We got to go to bed, man. Fuck Champagne, Charlie. Drink some champagne, motherfucker.
All right, man. But, yo, thanks, everybody. Oh, don't forget, I didn't say it this time, but if you haven't yet, like the video. Like it before... you leave. Definitely give it a like, comment, like, subscribe. Comment, like, subscribe. Do not. I should have said that at the top. I'm bad at that. Boxing Eagle is good at that. Boxing Eagle starts off.
Man,
Boxing Eagle holds the audience hostage. Boxing Eagle will be like, I ain't gonna do a show if y'all don't like.
I ain't gonna do no more talking unless y'all hit the like button. Like you ain't even gonna say nothing anyway. What the fuck?
Yo, you know what's funny, man? I did that the other night. I said, yo. I have more to say, but if y'all don't like, I'll save it for another day. And it worked, you know what I'm saying? Like, sadly, that hostage shit works, man. I guess I'm holding the word. I guess I'm holding the words hostage, man. Get those likes.
That's hilarious.
So it worked. All right, y'all. Be good, man.
Holla.
All right.